Saipen welcomes you on board the Perro Negro 7. Perro Negro 7 is a jack-up drilling rig which can operate in water depth up to 370 feet. The rig is capable to drill the well up to 30,000 feet. At Saipen, we firmly believe that people are our most important asset and their safety our greatest responsibility. It's our belief that no job is so important that we cannot take the time to do it in a safe manner. With this in mind, we want you to appreciate that you are also jointly responsible for your own safety and the safety of your work colleagues. Please watch and listen carefully to the critical health, safety, and environmental guidance contained in this film. Make sure you ask questions if you are unsure of anything. Arrival procedures. Upon arrival, you should have signed the Visitors and Logbook. This is our record of your presence on the rig. You will be provided with the Perro Negro 7 safety leaflet, which provides your general safety information and important notices, such as room number and lifeboat number. Non-prescription drugs, alcohol, firearms, or any offensive weapon are not permitted on board. Any prescribed medication you have must be reported immediately to the medic on board. Jewelry such as rings, necklaces, and earrings can catch on fixed and moving equipment, tools, and machinery, and must not be worn outside the living quarters or whilst working. You are only allowed to smoke in the designated areas, which are recreation room for smokers, located on the A deck level near the galley, coffee room for smokers, located on the main deck bow leg starboard side, and additional smoking area on the C deck, room 305. Mobile phones are prohibited outside the living quarters. Cameras, including mobile phones fitted with cameras and video equipment, are not permitted on board. The following PPE must be worn at all times outside the living quarters on this rig: hard hats, safety glasses, steel-toed safety boots or shoes, work clothing that is in good repair which covers and protects your body, hearing protection in all areas where high noise levels exist or where your work activity generates high noise levels, even when you are just passing through such an area. Work boots are not to be worn in the living quarters or gym areas. You must be trained to wear a safety harness and have the lifeline properly attached to an anchor point whenever doing work that could result in a fall greater than 6 feet. At all times, a 100% tie-off applies. Other special PPE will be specified in Job Safety Analysis, or JSA, or Work Permit for your work, or as clearly specified on the many safety signs and pictograms throughout this facility. If you are not sure of the requirements, just ask. There are strict environment controls on all Saipen facilities to make sure we all care for the environment. These include a no waste overboard policy. Do not throw any waste, including trash, old PPE, cigarette butts, or any other waste associated with your work or leisure over the side. Any leaks or spills of oil, mud, fuel, or any other substance must be contained and reported to the rig management. Place your trash in the correct refuse bins. The following HSE systems and their requirements must be well understood by everyone at this facility. All accidents, illnesses, near misses, or hazard observations must be reported immediately via your supervisor to the rig superintendent and barge master. Do not touch or disturb an accident site until an investigation has been completed, unless it is to assist a casualty, make the area safe, and to stop the problem from getting worse. Some work outside the scope of normal drilling activities requires the issue of a Saipen work permit to ensure that planned work can be done safely and efficiently. Do not begin any work activity unless this process is followed, and make sure that you are able to recognize the types of work permits issued. There are 2 types of work permits implemented on board: hot work and cold work permits. Be able to identify lockout and tagout warning devices placed on machinery and processes at these facilities. They protect you by isolating energy and process exposure. You and all personnel and contractors are required to attend safety meetings held on board Perro Negro 7. Weekly safety meetings are conducted at the recreation room. All rig crew must attend these meetings. Pre-tour safety meetings will be held by the supervisors prior to crews starting their work shift. Toolbox talk meetings will be conducted by a supervising person prior commencing non-routine work, to ensure that the appropriate information is given to promote awareness and understanding of all potential hazards which may affect safe and efficient job completion. Hazard Observation Cards reporting system is in place on board Perro Negro 7. The system objectives recognize and eliminate unsafe acts or conditions which are to be reported in these cards to the rig management. Reported observations and learnings are then shared at our safety meetings. This allows us to improve our safety performance and really communicate these improvements well. Chemical substances with potential dangers are used and handled at this facility. Material Safety Data Sheets, or MSDS, is documented safety information that is provided for all potentially hazardous chemicals used on this rig. Appropriate PPE shall be used while working with hazardous substances. The following specialized work requirements must be followed at all times. You must keep at least one hand on a handrail when using stairs at this facility. Never run up or down stairs or take more than one step at a time. Always make sure of your footing. Do not attempt to carry equipment whilst climbing ladders. Use both hands and use other safe means of transporting equipment to and from height. Cranes are used on this facility, and all work should be well cordoned off and marked to give you early warning. However, anytime you exit the living quarters or other doorways to an open deck, always look up and check to make sure that there are no crane lifts in that area. Avoid them and never walk directly under or close to any suspended load which could create a danger to you. Let us explain the emergency Perro Negro 7 emergency procedures for all potential emergency situations. Your duties and muster areas during a specific emergency situation has been clearly specified on the station bill. You must familiarize yourself with the contents of the station bill. All personnel should know their actions in the event of an emergency. In addition, personnel should familiarize themselves with escape routes, firefighting, and safety equipment. Personal emergency equipment such as life jackets and 15-minute breathing apparatuses are located in each cabin and at each lifeboat. Personnel who are in the accommodation when H2S and fire alarms are sounded should wear 15-minute breathing apparatuses and a life jacket. The fire alarm on your rig is personnel discovering a fire, who shall immediately activate the alarm and then report the fire location and severity to the control room. On hearing the fire alarm, all personnel not assigned to emergency duties shall immediately proceed to their assigned lifeboat muster station. Persons shall not be masked up. They shall carry BA sets with them and wait for instruction for mask up. The hydrocarbon alarm is The H2S alarm is on hearing hydrocarbon or H2S alarm. All personnel not assigned to emergency duties shall don their life jacket and 15-minute breathing apparatus and proceed to their assigned lifeboat muster station. Upon arrival at the master station, personnel must remove the T-card from box and hold by person, and connect the 15-minute breathing apparatus to the air cascade system manifold. The man overboard is
Man overboard.
The person or persons discovering a man overboard must immediately point to the person overboard and hail, "Man overboard," in order to draw attention to the situation. A life ring buoy should then be deployed overboard, landing as close to the overboard person as possible. The abandon rig alarm is
Abandon the rig.
On hearing abandon rig alarm, all personnel should stop their jobs and immediately proceed to their assigned lifeboat muster station. The order to abandon the rig will be given by the barge master. In the event that the assigned lifeboat is unavailable, personnel will be redirected to stand by lifeboat number 3. The coxswain or the assigned deputy will direct and control lifeboat boarding and launching operations. Saipen conducts emergency drills on a regular basis to ensure efficiency and safety, so does not be concerned. Make certain you are aware of all emergency response procedures. Saipen operates its facilities to the highest of international HSE standards and practices. As a critical member of our team, we expect you to show a high level of commitment. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact your Saipen supervisor or STS immediately. Thank you for your time, effort, and commitment to safety. And don't forget, no job is so important that we cannot take the time to do it in a safe manner.